Well, let's start off in South Africa. The level of debt by South African consumers compared to their net income continues to rise during the lockdown, of course, between April and June. Now, higher income earners were the worst affected, as Angela Kupola now explains.
The problem is that incomes have been flat, so in real terms, people have less money than in 2016, as inflation over the same period has been around 20%.
The real incomes have gone backwards. So there's a significant shortfall in terms of people's ability to make ends meet. And as a result, as a direct result of this is the second trend, which is essentially people are having to borrow a lot more in terms of unsecured lending, meaning credit cards and personal loans to make up for the shortfall.
The central bank data confirms the increase in unsecured loans, and this has become a concern to many economists and analysts.
This is unequivocal evidence that not only is there a strong appetite, but it's a strong appetite for the riskiest type of lending, that if this goes wrong, there's nothing that sits behind the loan, there's nothing for the lender to redeem.
Ironically, the mid and lower income families are in a relatively better position. Debt levels haven't escalated to the same levels as the high net worth families.
Their ability to borrow has been significantly curtailed over the last couple of years as a direct result of the debt relief bill that was talked about. Essentially, there was a conversation about writing off some of this debt. And I think what happened is that many of these consumers haven't been able to borrow at the levels that they used to borrow. And as a result, their debt levels have been more or less the same.
There's other data released recently that points to another potential catastrophe: unemployment.
If you look at the BankServe data that came out last week, for instance, pointing to the payroll data, it shows 1 in 5 disappeared from the payroll through the course of June. And then alongside that, those that stayed on the payroll, substantial evidence of downward wage or income pressure. So there's no way of dressing this up. You know, the evidence is unmistakable that the income side of the economy, the household income side of the economy, is under material pressure.
The data really is around that first part of the national lockdown, and we're going to see more pain as more information gets released about the following months. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Johannesburg, South Africa.